So we have the video process starting, so fantastic. So we were really excited to have Julie here today to share her words of wisdom on how we can really boost our life purpose and goals, and we really appreciate you coming, Julie. Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, do you ever feel like you're the only one that feels the way you're feeling? I mean, you're like, nobody else in the world has that same feeling that you have. I was raised in an abusive home full of massive amounts of negativity. And it was no surprise to me as an adult that as I entered into the workforce, that I had a bit of a chip on my shoulder and a negative attitude and a lot of pessimism. And I was sure, though, that if I could rise above that, that I would be able to climb the corporate ladder, and at the top I would find gobs of worthiness and happiness. Yeah. And I was sure, though, that I was the only one that felt this way. I was sure that I was the only one that felt like I was living a life of desperation, hiding a secret from the world, and that nobody else felt the same way that I felt. I was bound to determine to prove to my family that I could rise above and that I wasn't all those things they said I was. And I worked 60 to 80 hours. I traveled 50% of the time. And I sold my soul to the corporation. Yay me.
Yeah.
And as I promoted up that ladder, every step I took, the more desperate my life felt. And the more I felt like my own voice was screaming to get out. And by the time I left corporate America, my health was taking a hit, my marriage was on the rocks, and my productivity and my creativity were waning. And I was sure that I was the only one that felt that way. So today, what I want to do is I want to share with you a couple tools and 3 ways that you can put yourself first, because as business owners, we have the same issue. We want to make our businesses succeed, but what happens is we work harder at our own businesses than we did at a job because we want to see them succeed, and we put ourselves in the back burner. But first, I want to start with the basics. Everybody in this room is pure energy. That means you are, I wrote this down so I wouldn't forget it. You're made up of whirling electrons and protons, atoms, molecules, and chemical collections. And every thought that you think, and every action that you take, and every word that you speak sends instructions out into the world. I call it the universe. And the universe sends back what you asked for. So when I started my career, I sent out those negative thoughts, and guess what I got back? Negative life experiences. Before you get upset about that, the first time I heard that, I want you to know that I thought that was bunk. Because I'm pretty sure that if my thoughts were creating my life, I would be living a pretty fabulous life. And at that point in time, it was pretty miserable. So I'm going to ask you to listen with an open heart and an open mind to what I have to say. There might be a tidbit in here that you might be able to take home and tweak how you think and change your life. With that said, the first tip I want to give you is monitor your thoughts. Now, we've all heard that saying, what you focus on, you get more of. So if you're focusing on not having enough money at the end of the month, you will not have enough money at the end of the month. If you're focusing on what's not working in your business, you're going to get more of that. So it's best to focus on what you do want in your business and what is working in your business.
Thank you.
Now, when you talk about monitoring your thoughts, I'm going to share with you a story about how I thought myself out of a job. So as a little girl, I always was going to prove my family wrong. I was going to grow up and I was going to be a CEO of a big corporation. And I knew that I could make tons of money, that I could travel the world, and that I could make a huge difference. That's what I thought if I became a CEO. And I studied hard, I worked hard, I focused, I aced my way through high school and college. I landed that job, and I started my climb up the corporate ladder. And 25 years into my career, our country experienced a devastating disaster, and that was 9/11. Business in this country came to a screeching halt. And I went from traveling weekly to traveling once every 3 months. Now you can imagine, I worked for a small startup company. Our bottom line was a pretty dismal view, and our profits were dwindling. And we had to do something different. And I got a call from my boss one day, and she said, "You have to lay off your entire North American team." These were people that I had handpicked, and they were top performers. And I had this knot in my stomach, and I sat down and I sobbed. It was the worst day of my life. And what was worse is I wasn't even in on the decisions to make this decision, and I had to call them all on the phone and tell them because they were spread across the United States. At the end of doing the dastardly deed, I hesitantly picked up the phone to call my boss and find out what's next. And she said, "You are going to cover North America for the next year until we can get through this thing." I was in Seattle one day and New York City the next. 92,000 air miles that year. Not for fun.
Yeah.
And during that year, I kept saying, "Oh, Julie, you've got to work longer hours. You've got to work harder, or you too are going to lose your job." And 1 year later, I lost my job. So with that information, I want you to know that it's important to monitor your thoughts. It's essential to your happiness, to your success, and to your health. Everyone in here was born with pristine thoughts. We had people in our lives that fed us thoughts throughout our upbringing. Some of them actually propel us forward, and some of them hold us back. We may not even know it because we have over 60,000 thoughts a day. No wonder we're tired at the end of the day, right?
Yes.
The interesting thing is that only 5% of those thoughts are conscious. Up until now. Now that I've shared that with you, your conscious percentage is going to go up. Some unconscious thoughts you want to keep, like the ones that make your heart beat and the blood flow and the lungs breathe. Can you imagine having to tell your body that every second? Please beat, please beat, please beat. No, it would be, you want to keep that. But there's others that you don't. Then those are the ones that are holding you back. They're automatic. And I have a little tool for that. It's called Stop, Cancel, Clear. So what happens when you have a thought? What I did is I actually created a little notebook that I carried with me, and every time I had a thought that was holding me back, thoughts like, I'm not worthy enough for huge success or happiness. I'm not pretty enough to be on a stage. I'm not smart enough to say anything that anyone would want to listen to. Those are thoughts that hold me back. I would go home with all those thoughts at the end of the day, and I would reframe them. I am worthy enough of huge success, and I'm pretty enough for anybody that wants to look, and I am smart enough, and people do want to hear what I have to say. In fact, people heal from what I have to say. And that's when I said, I have to create my Stop, Cancel, Clear tool. What happens when you have a thought? It goes through the neural pathways in your brain, and it gets to a fork in the road. And it has a choice to go left or right. But those subconscious thoughts, they've been going left for so long, they don't even see the fork in the road. So when you say stop, it's saying stop at the fork in the road. You have choices here. You're an adult. You get to do life differently than what you were raised as. And the cancel says cancel that automatic left turn. And the clear says clear a pathway to the right. That's a very simple way to look at it because those neural pathways have lots of paths, but that's a real easy way to look at it. So every night I would go home, I would say stop, cancel, clear, and the next day I would say stop, and I would say my new profound thought process that would propel me forward. First tip, monitor your thoughts. Second tip, and this one's going to give you pure energy and positivity, and that is have an attitude of gratitude. Gratitude. I watched a TED Talk recently, Sean Anker. He did a TEDx talk titled The Happy Secret to Better Work. And he says, when you can raise your level of positivity in the present, then your brain can experience a happiness advantage. Who doesn't want a happiness advantage, right? And your brain in positive mode can significantly perform better than it does at negative, neutral, or stress mode. In fact, your intelligence rises, your creativity rises, and your energy rises. So he has his corporate clients list 3 new things of gratitude each day for 21 days. And here's what he found. Their brains started to retain the pattern of scanning the world for the positive and not the negative. Our world is geared towards the negative. If you turn on the news at night, it's the negative. So they started just scanning the world for the positive things that were in it. What you focus on, you get more of. Now, how do you incorporate gratitude into your day? I take a gratitude walk every morning, and I list my gratitude. When I come home, I'm pretty high, and I am ready to start my day, and I can't wait to start talking to my clients. Another way you can bring gratitude, my husband does the same thing. If he gets starts to get, things get negative at work, he says, I go out, I take a gratitude walk for 10 minutes, and I come back. He says it totally changes his energy. You can list it in a journal. When things are spiraling out of control, you can just ask yourself that question. What am I grateful for? In fact, I put it right on my PC. What am I grateful for? To remind me on a regular basis throughout the day. You could make it the first topic of conversation at the dinner table with your children. Our family actually kept a gratitude journal, and I would write down what everybody's gratitude was for the day, and at the end of the year, we just randomly picked 12 pages and read them, and we were all surprised at how different our life had changed in just a year of doing gratitude, and the things that we were grateful for.
Well, that's fine.
The third tip I want to give you is be selfish and schedule regular self-care. We all have a pot of gold inside of us. And every time we do for others, a piece of gold leaves that pot. And when that pot gets empty, men go out and play golf, or call up a buddy, go have beer or something. Women, they keep giving. Even though that pot of gold is empty, we keep giving. And what happens over time is we become angry, we become resentful, we become tired, and sometimes we become sick. What is self-care? Self-care can be something as simple as taking a bubble bath with a do not disturb sign on the door, or reading an uplifting or motivating book, or getting together with one of your positive friends. Doesn't work if you get together with your naysayers. And or it could be taking a walk in nature or a garden. And if you love to garden, then it could be working in your garden. There are so many things you can do for self-care. Self-care is on my calendar in lavender. If there is no lavender on my calendar, that's a big red flag. I do take a gratitude walk in the morning. That is on my calendar, and it is in lavender. I meditate daily. I write in my journal. Those are all self-care activities for me. If I blow by them, I know it by 1 o'clock. And it's time for me to stop and do those activities. Is it selfish? No. Because if you don't take care of yourself, there won't be anything left of you to take care of other people. Even the airlines will tell you, put on your air mask first before helping other people. You all get that you're supposed to put yourself first, and you may even share this with your clients, but you may not embody it because you're busy trying to be successful in this business that you're building. But if there's nothing left of you, what are you going to be able to give? So it's important that you take care of it. Let me see. The 3 things I gave you to improve your life. Here's what I do. I help people who are living soul-sucking lives or sitting in soul-sucking jobs. And that could be a business owner, or it could be someone in a job or a corporate career. And I help them go from here to here, which is jump out of bed and live a life you can't wait to get up and live every day. And I create that gap, or I fill that gap for them and help them make that jump from here to here. I also do speaking engagements to women's groups, to New Thought churches, people that are looking for somebody that's inspiring and motivating, somebody that a group that really wants to find out how to improve their life. I'm their girl. Any questions that anyone has about things that I asked today or I shared today? Monitor your thoughts, attitude of gratitude, and self-care. Right.
How long have you been doing this?
I've been a speaker for all my life, but I have been doing this for 4 years. 4 years, right. And I have a gift for all of you. Does anyone have any other questions?
Well, I'm curious about your journey. When
Yeah.
you switched over and what that had to have been a trying time before you started
Extremely.
teaching, right? Like,
Right. So I would roll out of bed in the morning, put on yesterday's clothes, take my kid to school, come back, go back to bed. At 1 o'clock, I would get up in the afternoon, and I would go, oh, crap, I'm going to have to go pick him up from school pretty soon. I guess I better take a shower and look like I did something around here. And then all night I would pretend to my family that life was good. And I actually went to a seminar called Infinite Possibilities, The Art of Living Your Dreams. And I went there to get trained in it and certified in it with no intention of ever using it, except to get my mojo back. And that's when it all started, 4 years ago. I did a lot of work before then, but here's what I found. I couldn't do it alone, and I had to get a coach. And the coach was what really helped it go faster. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
It's nice to know your journey.
Yeah.
Who was the Infinite Possibility training?
Mike Julee is the one that wrote
Oh, yeah.
the book, New York Times bestseller, yeah. Yeah, Mike's a good friend of mine, and
Oh,
I've
fantastic.
spoken at their conferences twice now.
Fantastic.
Yeah, so it's a good group to be involved with. Any other questions?
Where in your process to doing the book fall in, and what was your incentive for doing it?
Well, the full
Writing ebook.
print book
You
is
did it.
not, the full print book is not out yet.
Okay.
The ebook is out on my website, and the print book's much bigger. And you all are gonna get a copy of that today.
Wow.
And the reason I wanted to write the book is because I have a lot of outside the box options available, and I wanted to give people hope and encouragement that they don't have to sit in soul-sucking lives. That they can actually have a job that fills their soul, brings them love and joy. That the way their parents did life is not necessarily the way you have to do it. And it's like I'm watching my parents right now at the end of their life. It's just horrible to watch the way it's happening. Now, mine will be different. Any other questions?
Current life is.
All right, I have a handout for you guys here. I didn't talk about all these ways, but there are some ways on here, other ways to stop living a soul-sucking life. You can have that. And at the bottom of it is a link to get my book, my new ebook, 11 Ways to Leave Your Soul-Sucking Life Behind, Reclaim Your Life. And I also wondered if you would all do a little quick feedback sheet for me. You don't need to put your name on it, anything. You can just drop them up here on your way out, and then, because I truly do enjoy getting feedback from people. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Julie.
Julie. That was
Yeah,
awesome.
really good. Thank you, Julie.
Yeah.
Thank you, Julie.
Wow.
Good.